Hey everyone, welcome to Sagas of the Shimmering Seas. This is the Hidden Tomb of Akarut, and we just put a psionic person into the body of a Tarrasque, and we're gonna see how that works out for the party today. I'm excited to see how that works out for the party today. So, down there in that room, we've got. Do we gain level?
No, I don't think so.
Great.
I
Okay.
think next time we might.
Excellent. So down there in that room, at the bottom of this temple, there was a hole in the floor, and at the bottom of this hole there was a gaping maw of a massive Tarrasque that was, being fed regularly by Obzishra. And Nalri made a deal with Obzishra to be brought over here and deal with the Tarrasque, and she did that by becoming the Tarrasque. Her broken body now has the Tarrasque inside of it, uh, and she is inside the Tarrasque. They have swapped locations. Before we get too deep into this, though, I do want to show off something that we have that is pretty freaking cool. We got some awesome art commissioned, which I am very, very excited about, and I just want to show you guys. So, Marcus, can we show?
Should be on.
It's on screen now. Awesome. Well, if you see here, this is our boss roster. Woohoo! Yes, this group has a whole boss roster, and Marcus, a couple sessions ago, made a joke about it being like Mega Man, and so we decided to commission some Mega Man style art for our bosses. Our artist here is Yaya, and you can find them at yayanes underscore art. That's twitter.com// YAHYAN ASS _ART. They also have an Instagram, which is the same thing but without the underscore and on Instagram rather than on Twitter. I think this art is spectacular. I just love all the details in it. It just makes me so freaking happy. I love looking at I love Adius the Blood Mage. He just looks exactly like I imagined Adius to look. I'm also very excited about like the creepiness of the other one. Also, Nalri the Psionic and the Tarrasque have currently swapped bodies, but we're going to leave them both on there for a minute. But we are going to start drawing big red X's through things as if they get crossed off, which I think is fun. And I am very excited about this whole process. So, there you all are, having helped Nalri do this. And suddenly, this crack in the floor, which was a gaping maw, it starts to turn. And as it does, the whole earth shakes. Earthquake rumbling, and you realize that the random earthquakes that you've been feeling this whole time have always been this Tarrasque. Yes, the earthquake that you felt in the first episode of this campaign 2 years ago was in fact this Tarrasque. And it turns underneath, rotating, sort of turning over, not in its sleep, but turning over to wake up. And it gets to a point where its eye is aligned with the crack, and I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
Boy.
And I forgot to load roll 20. But I'm doing it now.
That's decent.
Let's see.
15. No, 19 with aura.
Gotta love your aura, and I think everyone's in your aura.
Yeah, so everyone gets +4.
Okay. And that's good for you and for Zerial. But Celia, you are scared. Out of your mind. This is
She might not be able to be, actually. Aura of Courage. Friendly creatures within 10 feet of me can't be frightened while unconscious.
Well, never mind then, Celia. You're would be terrified, but you've got the support, the emotional support of your dear friend Tiss. They are just right there with you in your corner, and you know that like whatever happens, Tiss will be there for you.
That's really sweet. Thanks, Tiff.
Also, I should also clarify that I think it might be more magical than like emotional on Tiss's part, because by all accounts,
Sure. But at the same time, it is, on some level, you know, real.
If we've learned anything from horses, it's that friendship is magic.
Yes, Also, we learned that from D&D. Okay, let's do this thing. So, this um, massive stone carapace turns towards you, and you realize that this carapace is just grown over, and like basically covers an eye, type thing. But this eye type thing is not really an eye. It doesn't have an iris. It doesn't have pupils. In fact, it seems to be completely like blind. It's just where an eye should be. There's like this scaly overgrowth in the shape of an eye, but there's no eye itself. And that's what you're looking at right now. The scales are sort of, let's see, orangish in color, like muddy orange, I would say, like post-apocalyptic orange, you know. And it's looking towards you.
Where is Nolri's body? Because last I remember, it had broken its own legs in a rage.
Yeah, it's on the ground next to you, not far from you, and it's like struggling and throwing itself at various things. It's trying to move, but it's having trouble moving.
I'd like to grapple it by stepping on it at the base of its torso.
Yeah, why don't you roll a athletics check to grapple? I will roll to resist out of a desire for humor.
Oh, that's not very good at all. 10.
6.
Nice.
You know.
So I call up to the Tonari.
Hmm.
I presume you're all finished with this.
You hear in your mind Nolri's voice, but it is so much louder and so much more present than you've ever heard it before. Yes, that flesh, it is useless to me. And you all hear it. It seems to almost... It's so loud it feels like it echoes, but it's echoing inside your skull.
By the time she finishes saying that, I'd like to coup de grace. Tarrasque.
It's Duan. Stops struggling.
That is unfortunate. It's also very terrifying coming from Tiss.
Yeah, it's a scary situation all around. Nolri, I think we need to have words.
Why?
Well, because you're in the body of a terrifying, gigantic, he sizes it up, monster. Well, maybe monster isn't the best word considering you're inside it, but nonetheless, you are capable of great harm now, and I don't know what your intentions are.
Yeah, can you roll a perception check for me?
9. Wow, 9.
Yeah.
And a 0.
You're. I mean, okay. Asma isn't here, so like we need to split up the roles between the party, I guess.
Yeah.
I have achieved my intentions. I have achieved my goals, my ambition. My body, which was so weak, is no longer my body, and this, which is my body now, is so strong.
This is what concerns me. You have reached your ambition, but I do not take you as the kind of person that would simply stop having ambitions once they've reached one. And I don't want your next one to be something that utilizes the destructive capabilities of this body.
And why should I not use them? They are mine. Would you not allow yourself to use your own sword? When was the last time you bit something?
How about a better idea? You need to feed, correct?
Sometimes.
Now, does it quite matter the state of the flesh, recently deceased or actively living?
I can live off the earth itself. And now, as I begin to explore the new possibilities, I could live off the connective tissue inside of a mind. Take that as sustenance. And I think as she says that, Zerial, you feel a claw inside your mind. Can you make an intelligence saving throw for me?
Yeah.
Take that'll be 14 psychic damage. And just as it's happening, it's hard for you to form complete sentences. You find yourself tripping over your words.
17 wouldn't have made it either.
No, DC is 18 actually. So thank you for reminding me.
Yep. But I feel like there's another that may threaten your power.
What can threaten this strength? I could be the queen of anything I want. I could do anything I want.
Well, hold on.
Perhaps the one that locked it away.
There are many things like... Not us, surely, but... Of Zisha for one, but I know you have an arrangement.
She is foolish if she thinks she can challenge me now.
Oh, that's such a bad mentality to have.
She doesn't plan to challenge you. However, I know somebody who will. Somebody who seeks to make the immortal not immortal and who has owned and ruled over this temple for centuries. He currently, as you may know, resides in the north.
You speak of the avatar of Cooltix?
The original. Akarut.
His domain is death. I am eternally alive.
Eternally alive for as long as you have psychic powers. Now here's the issue. What happens when everybody's dead? They don't have consciousness after they die. What can you feed off of?
Die.
But an eternity starving? Is that a life worth living? Didn't you inhabit this body to escape your pain? And now that it's gone, you seek to have a small-scale romp while he takes away something that would provide you for endless centuries?
I'll allow a persuasion check.
Woohoo! All right. Oh, nat 20. Yeah, boy.
You describe an existence that is filled with agony. I have left one of those already. It's true, this body is restricted. I cannot leave this realm. And it is difficult to feed off something far away.
I have a proposition for you.
You and your propositions, how is that working out for you? How many failures have you found via your tongue?
Many. Although the unfortunate or fortunate part is it hasn't been cut off just yet.
And which of those failures is most painful? Come, tell Nalari.
Am I compelled to this?
She's trying to compel you. I need an intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
Oh, God. And you keep happening, isn't it?
That's
16.
a success.
Okay.
You are not compelled.
My failures haunt me. But It's the things that I've done, the things that I've managed to do that keep me going. However, I want to proposition you. You seek to leave this realm at some point because I know that one realm may not be enough to feed off of. So, as you seek to take care of the problem of Akarut, if you were to bring us portions of his power, we can use them as tools to help you possibly achieve travel to any of these other dimensions.
I am not your servant.
I agree.
Do you know
This
what it's
is
like to have your body broken?
I actually do, surprisingly. And I'm going to show the scarring that is on my chest and abdomen from the attack of the witch.
She saw your arm too. She fixed it, didn't she?
Yes, I was broken and left for dead. Everything that I know has or was gone, and I was lost.
Your
I
body never betrayed you. You were injured and broken and hurt, but that is so paltry.
My power betrayed me. I wasn't strong enough. I was weak. I couldn't help. I could do nothing except for sit and watch as everyone around me was slaughtered. And there was nothing, not even in my greatest efforts or strengths, that I could do. And I strove for years to find solutions through alchemy, through the creation of things that may help me in battle. And I regained my strength, as you have. My journey was slower and I'm still weaker, but our journeys are the random cha-ching sound definitely didn't help the emotion of this moment, but our journeys are aligned diametrically in a certain way.
Roll persuasion for empathy. See if she gets you.
Okay.
Can Tis help with that?
How do you help?
So in out of character, I think he's right. I think our paths are diametrically linked, or not diametrically, but I think they are linked. Um, Nalri, I think it's worth mentioning that we did technically clear the way down here for you, just as we said that we would. Beyond that, I think by the nature of relationship, whatever it may be at this point, I think it would benefit us to think of us, for you to think of us, colleagues.
Yeah. Zero, why don't you make a persuasion check at advantage?
I am going to use Tides of Chaos to reroll that. Oh boy. Oh, no.
Of course.
Oh.
Yeah, let's have some chaos.
Oof.
Oh boy, yeah, something strange, something wild. Let's go.
50 on the wild. I don't remember where we are in the day, but that's okay. Hmm. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna weave this into the narrative a little bit. So as you're saying this,
Oh no.
suddenly, like a cold red light starts emitting from you, and Tis, you're in the radius of this, Celia, you're in the radius of this, and suddenly, like, your magical items and your magic just all flicks off. Just all
Don't
turns.
like that.
And immediately, Nolri's like, what is this? Are you trying to trick me? Is this some foolish way to try and get me to get down my defenses? That won't work on me. I'm not magic, I'm psionic!
No, we thought you. I at least thought you did that. I think Tish looks over at Zuriel. I think this is just fate being strangely tangled around this one.
It is at okay, fuck. This is probably going to be really bad if I fuck up this roll, but I'm going to lie and say it's to show that we have no intention of harming you.
Yeah, roll deception.
Just watch. This is gonna be an at one.
It's gonna be a 1.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is the parts of this are going okay. I think what I'm going to say is that this isn't resolved. She's not on your side. She's not against you exactly. She's not going to help you with Akarut, but she's not against the idea of helping you with Akarut. So let's see. Yeah. So from that perspective, I think she's going to say something like, "Foolish ones, mortals. I can call you that now. I need rest. The transition has tired me. Leave."
Oh boy.
We're prepared to do so. I will request one thing. Obviously,
No.
you're not.
Fair
I'll
enough.
just
We'll
say
be on our
something.
way out.
I'll just say something out loud in front of you. Then, at the risk of anger, think about what you want, because I think we could help you achieve. If it's to get out of this tomb, if it's to not be restrained down here.
Fool, I am free of this tomb already. I can go anywhere I want.
This grimaces and leaves.
Well, have fun with your travels. We'll be on our way out. Appreciate you. Oh, and I'll get you back for the gold that I owe you. Sorry about that.
No reply.
Fair enough.
And I think as you guys are leaving, the ground shakes.
I think the first thing that I'm going to want is a tinfoil hat. I think that's the one that I'm going to be looking for.
Would that work?
I mean, considering it's a massively powerful psionic sorcerer that just got boosted by the most powerful body possible, like, I don't think it would work quite well. But perhaps
I will
there
take
may be
anything at this point. Please tell me it will work.
A solid hat may work.
Yeah, we could actually go to the Temple of the Six, see if we can kill a dryad. It's a fucked up thing to do, but like, I mean,
Wait, why
what
would
options do we have?
Yeah, why would we do that?
Because where do you think a soulwood tree comes from? It has the word soul in it.
Oh, I hadn't considered that. Oh, as we leave,
I love it when like, I cannot tell you, Jack. Like, you just said something that is 100% very clear to you and very obvious to you. No one in any of the campaigns has figured that out yet until now.
Oh my god! Wow. As we leave, am I certain that the Tarrasque in Nolri's body is dead?
Yeah.
I'll take the remains with.
Fair enough. Just terrifies me for the concept of baby powder.
Does
Over my head. Yeah.
does that body still have blood in it?
Oh god. Okay,
Probably.
when did we transition into an evil party?
Probably a long time
When
ago.
Zuriel
I mean,
joined. Okay.
yeah,
sorry.
like, well, I mean, I guess, but like, I have always been like the worst of the group, right? Like, but
When
in
did
the
everybody
past
else
like
become
few
evil?
minutes, we're harvesting blood from a body that our paladin just killed, basically. He was like, "Oh, yeah, the mortal coil's done. It's a Tarrasque soul. Like, what is the difference between mortal and liminal souls?
But
I'll
to
send
answer
it
your
to
question, sorry, just to be very, very clear as I answer this question, Celia, right now that body does have Nulri's blood in it.
you." Oh, okay.
I
Take
don't know
as
what
much as you can.
difference that makes, but that seems very specific.
Good.
Okay,
Oh
I'm
my
taking
God.
it. I'm harvesting the blood.
Wait
Okay.
a second. I think. Fuck. There may be like a third option. That's just now occurring to me. Although it's going to. Unfortunately, Celia will have to go to depths that she probably promised she'd never go for it.
Bloodbending?
The like you know the like effective like blood indentured servitude, right? Like the spell that effectively forces somebody. This is Nulri's blood.
I wonder if it even works that way. It's
If we can trick her.
it's like it was her blood at this point. The Tarrasque's blood is her blood.
I mean,
But surely Tarrasque blood is still like stronger than normal blood, so it's still worth having.
yeah, no, but I think like it's if I had to get existential on it, I think it's like liminal case capabilities of the soul, right? Like I think Nulri's blood, because like the whole like servitude thing wouldn't work if it weren't like linked somehow, right? Right? Or
No idea.
Okay,
No
this
idea.
this weird body swap is kind of confusing because there is a spell where I touch a dead humanoid or beast that has been dead for no more than a century, didn't die of old age, and had blood during life.
Yeah.
If its soul is free, the target returns to life with all its hit points. And the creature is considered completely under your control and has no mind of its own. Would that revive the Tarrasque? Would that revive the Tarrasque in Nauri's body? Or would that revive
Nalri isn't
Nalri?
dead. If we kill her, then we revive Nalri's body. I think it would revive Nalri. But it really depends on like the effects of the spell that is used to transfer, right? Yeah, that is a really because like I would assume like imagine like death is like a big old cloud, right? And like the souls return to where they feel the bodies would be, right? So like I guess since like it was her original body, she would return there. If we killed her inside of the Tarrasque and then revived her old body. But I don't know why we would do that.
I was just thinking, if we revive the Tarrasque,
then we'd have a very angry old lady.
yeah, but I thought it might revive the Tarrasque not in Nari's body. But I don't think that's how it would work.
Yeah.
It would be very
Uh.
helpful to have a Tarrasque under my control.
I mean, like, it's kind of like saying, oh man, it would be great to have a tank in the body of a bicycle. Like, it's like, man, I would love to have a tank. Well, here's a bicycle that like is painted like a tank. Like, it's just like I don't think like it has the same punch. Like,
You know, we take what we can get, okay? We're on a
yeah.
budget here.
Yeah, although I mean, if we're trying to perform like an opposite ritual to like swap them again, then that would definitely be necessary. So it's good to like keep the body around. So
I don't think I can do what you're thinking.
Like
with
the
Nari's blood.
the blood pact, or I forget what it's called.
It has to be between two willing participants.
Yes, but there's specifications, and I remember very clearly that you can trick the hell out of people. And the terms of like willing are, I know from blessed corporate knowledge, the terms of willing and unwilling are vague and mysterious at best.
Okay, I'll just read out what it says. An agreement is forged between two willing participants, and a stipulation is set for each party as well as the wants of each party member. The stipulation can be minor, like a monetary gain, or can be severe as slavery or death, but both parties must agree to all terms. A drop of blood is taken by a silver needle and dropped into a bowl. At the end of casting, the blood takes shape as a small cube which serves as a contract. Once both parties have held their end of the bargain, the cube fizzles into nothing. If one party breaks the contract, the cube turns black and the stipulation takes effect. This spell is how many evil humomancers gain willing donors for their spells and experiments.
Okay. Yeah.
So presumably you can be coerced into it, but she still has to agree.
Yes. So that is the third option that we have, because something that we may be able to do, I doubt that we'll be able to fucking set up a giant bowl like without her noticing. However,
it doesn't have to be a large bowl.
That is true. Like,
frankly, I could cast like my part of the spell, and then just wait for her to agree.
Oh yeah, true, because it doesn't set like a stipulation on time with it too. Oh, that is very clever.
So if I just like make the bowl and needle and whatever, talk to her for a bit and get her to say that she's willing, cast the spell,
drop her blood in, then it works. And like
maybe,
yeah. That is such a risky like way to go about things, but
that also demands we get the Tarrasque's blood, right? And we don't know anything about it. Whether it can bleed.
Fuck, it might not need the Tarrasque blood. It might need Nulri's actual blood.
I wonder about that, because like once you're dispossessed of a body entirely, doesn't that include it?
Yeah. See, but like, I think there are probably some spells where you can affect the blood outside of somebody's body to like mess with them, right? Or no? Does it have to be inside their actual body with all cases?
Unless it's my blood, I think so. If it's my blood, I have to take it out of my body first.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a hell of a tough one.
Are we talking about this on the way to the Temple of the Six, or to the surface?
Yeah, specifically. And
so you guys are returning to the Temple of the Six. So, are you teleporting back, or are you following the route that you heard about? You haven't followed this route before.
We should try the route.
Yeah, I think we should just.
Because there's like no
try the route
downside now. I mean, like.
So you find a staircase going up, and you get to the top of the staircase, and find yourselves at a wall that from this side is very clearly a what would you say, it's a staircase going straight into a wall, and the wall has a painting on it of Zishra and Akarut.
Are they friends or battling each other? Like,
they seem to just be staring each other down. Like, it doesn't look friendly, but it kind of looks like an Old West duel.
Can I inspect the rim of the painting, like the frame?
Yeah, it's not a room. It's literally just the top of the staircase. Yeah, why don't you roll an investigation check for me?
Okay.
Or perception if you're looking at it.
Let's see. I will go for perception because that is a 7 compared to a 3. And it didn't help much.
Yeah. So I mean, the painting is done in this style that's it creates the illusion of distance, right? And you guys are looking at this from the perspective of Zishra. And on the far side is, and like away from you, is Akarut, and it's like you're almost looking over of Zishra's shoulder. It's very unusual art style for this temple, for this tomb, in general. Yeah.
Can I? This will look really stupid if like it doesn't work. But can I step through the painting?
Yeah, you bonk your head.
Okay, fair enough. Like, I'm just going to play it off coolly, like
I think it's a residual
Like
effect
you meant to walk into a
from
wall.
Nalri being in your mind.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm.
Sorry, things have been a little fuzzy after she fiddled around in my brain.
I tried to pull the old Super Mario 64, eh?
Worth a shot. Like, so, is it possible to like twist any part of Akarut?
Yeah, so
Any hidden
Akarut is a little bit higher up on the wall because he's distant, right? So you're sort of, again, you're at Zisha's shoulder, and Akarut's higher up. Yeah, so you like try and jump and twist things or jump and tap things and various things like that. Yeah, roll an investigation check.
Sure. Why is it always a lower number that rolls the best?
Yeah. Yeah, so the wall is like pretty thin from your perspective over here. You can hear it echoing on the other side. And it's made of the same stone that the Temple of the Six is made out of. And seems pretty pretty light. Akarut himself is not looking at you, but there's gems in his eyes, and he's staring at Zishra's hands or claws, as they were.
Okay.
Actual gems are painted.
They seem to be actual gems in the eyes.
Oh. I think like the other two options are pushing the entire wall, seeing if it like rotates, and then pushing the eyes.
Yeah, so where do you want to push, on the wall or the eyes?
We'll just push on like the edge of the wall, like you know how like if a twist.
It quite easily turns.
Oh, Tis is about to say, Zerial, I really don't think that's a portal. Oh, wow.
yeah, no, it's the most magical of portals, as in the simplest solution is always the right one.
Yeah, so it rotates around the middle, so it becomes like this. And if you look at it from the other side, the exact inverse of the painting is painted. So on one side of the wall, it's Zishra staring down Akarut. On the other side of the wall, it's Akarut staring down Zishra. And but interestingly, it gets like turning this wall, like is fine, and the staircase is over, so it's just hanging out over the staircase. But then you walk forward like about 3 feet, and then there's like a wall of brick. It's pretty it's pretty different from the materials of the area around you, which is all like Temple of the Six sandstone.
Can I start like tapping on it, inspecting it, seeing if there's anything like engraved in it or something?
Yeah. Yeah, why don't you make an investigation check?
Where were these rolls when we needed them?
Yeah. It becomes hyper evident to you that this is not like a wall that is built in. Sorry, this is not a wall that's like part of the original structure. This is a wall that someone has put up, probably to block people from coming this route.
Oh. Okay.
But
with a 27,
he came down this way.
From a 27, I'll even say it becomes very clear to you that this. Let's see, why would it be clear? You see some runes engraved upon it in various places as well. Runes that you recognize as being protective charms from a certain shaman that you guys defeated already.
Oh.
But Backtalk came down this way with Nari. Or is this not the way that he came down?
An interesting question.
Doorway.
Can I just start poking it and see
I mean,
whether it moves like the
sorry,
last one?
let's see. Hold on. You are a wizard. You have knowledge. Can you make an Arcana check for me?
Yeah. 14.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, Nollery is magical. That's what I'll say.
Do we all have Misty Step?
Yeah.
Just step out
Oh,
laser,
yeah.
you cannot see.
Okay. So I am going to see if I can't make some sort of dissolvent for the middle part of the brick,
Mhm.
right? Like just the gum in between to make a very small hole, leading what would technically normally be out.
Yeah, absolutely. So you want to make a make a solvent to dissolve the brick.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, I feel like alchemist tools you've got here will say with intelligence.
Okay.
Yeah, you easily make an acid that will dissolve the connective tissue of the brick, making them very easy to take apart.
Nice. I will make a very, very, very small hole
Mhm.
in the thing to see to the other side.
Yeah, you see a hallway that is clearly part of the Temple of the Six.
Heck yeah. I am going to face step on the other side.
Yeah, looking back, you see that the wall here, it's like the brick that you were manipulating from your side. From this side, it's painted to look like it's part of the Temple of the Six, and it's pretty good job. But it's clearly meant to look like a fake wall, like a "Don't go here" wall. Yeah.
Very interesting. You guys coming along?
Yeah, I guess so.
Misty stepping through.
I have to.
It's better to waste of a teleport, I guess. Although it concerns me to all heck and back that she is right underneath us.
And yeah, you follow the hallway and then turn left and then turn left again, and you find yourselves back in the center of the Temple of the Six.
We hadn't
I
been
know we
resting.
basically just rested, but I feel like we need a nap to recover from that.
Oh, did we rest before we came down here?
I think we did, but I agree. I think just even for continuity's sake, it has been a long day. But obviously there are things that definitely urgently need to be taken care of. But also that is a lot. D&D is about living out our power fantasies, aka being able to take a full nap and be fully rested.
Imagine.
Galleries,
Yep.
Power Fantasy.
Sounds good to me. And so you guys return to your room, or really technically this is Celia's room, and lie down for a nap.
I'm gonna pack up my mini me. I'm gonna keep that on my person from now on.
Okay.
Because last thing I want is for her to destroy the temple and my mini me with it, and all of a sudden I find myself dying of a heart attack at the age of 50.
That would not be ideal.
A little bit. I should probably talk to the other one. Let him know what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's gonna be some very unfortunate news.
Maybe. We'll see.
Is this a short rest, by the way?
I don't know. It's up to you guys.
How long should we sleep for, guys?
I'm open to a long.
I only need a short rest. But a quick question. Before that happens, so you said that can you revive people? Revivify? Like the thing that you were talking about? You can do that right now.
I can use my knowledge of blood to force someone's wounds to close and their heart to keep pumping. A target I see that is unconscious or has been dead for no longer than 10 minutes is
Oh,
resuscitated,
no longer than 10.
stabilized,
Alright,
prone, and gains the same amount of hit points. Or I can revive them and have them under my control. But that's not
Okay.
really them.
So if you revive them, okay, the real technical question there, right, is if you revive them and they are under your control. If we kill them again, like my okay, whole plan with this, right, is like I don't think like at this point I have no real intention of returning to the tomb considering how bad things are there. Um, but I do want to get as much as I can off of the other one, if possible. So what I was thinking is we
Now that
still
you
have
have extra arms already, or tentacles, what do you have?
oh heck yeah, bug arms.
Bug
Those are
arms.
cool.
Yeah, just putting that out there.
But yeah, no. So like that being said, the whole soul thing, soul in a jar, right? I was thinking about it, and I realized that our good friend the shaman, who I don't think anybody is against killing again, right? Like, if we were to put his soul back in his body, re-kill him, and then capture the soul, bada bing, bada boom. That's a powerful soul.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, technically speaking.
Well, to be fair, he's missing his head, so I don't think like there's gonna be like very much.
It says it restores any missing body parts, so actually he won't be missing his head.
The real question is, does it restore it from the head down or the body up? Like, is it like a percentage?
I think it depends
basis?
which bit you're casting a spell on.
True. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
But yes, technically speaking, I would either have to learn the spell from Soropi or have Soropi cast the spell because I don't actually know the spell.
That's fine. If Soropi can cast it, then Soropi can cast
it. Gotta convince Soropi to cast it, but yeah.
True. Well,
I mean, I don't think she's gonna be that hard to convince.
Yeah, and like technically she does owe me for like kind of saving her.
You were very nice about it though.
Well, I mean
the second time, I guess you weren't not nice about it.
I already apologized, right? Like we're chilling, right?
Did you? I'm sorry.
As much as I apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. But I mean, thankfully favors don't what's that God, I forget what his name is. The dude who like bullies teenagers. Ben Shapiro. Favors don't care about your feelings. There it is.
Look at the bullies teenagers. Oh yeah, Ben Shapiro. That could have been so many people.
True. But that being said, yeah, no, I think like hopefully I'll be able to call it in and hopefully it works. So yeah. All right. Yeah. In the spare time that I have, I will retrieve the body of the shaman and make sure that all of his magic stuff is off of him.
Yeah, I mean, you it's all gone. You got rid of all the magical stuff.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't matter because he's under my control. Well, Soropi's.
Yeah. The other thing too is I do want to. Man, this is going to be extraordinarily gruesome. But like,
can we clarify for 1 second? Did you guys take a short rest or a long rest?
Long.
Okay. Sorry, I just need to keep track of the.
Technically short for me because I'm a elf, but like long.
Yeah. You took mechanically. You still have to hang out for 8 hours, even though you only need to sleep for. You only need to trance for 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool day count.
But the thing that I am worried about is tattoos. I want to make sure that like I break any tattoos that he may have on his body before anything.
Well, that's not going to work because
it restores the body, but doesn't restore the tattoos. Well, I mean,
it closes all mortal wounds and restores any missing body parts. So unless you're tattooing over them, like if you're just cutting through them, then it's going to restore that.
Well, if
It
you're
would be
cutting
like scar
out-
tissue, though, right?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
scar tissue. So like let's say they're runes, right? Like if you break a rune, it doesn't work, right? So like
Maybe.
if you like make the incisions, like I guess if it would have to be like cut out, not like cut open, but like same deal, right?
I don't really know why it matters though, because it's considered completely under our control.
See,
It
that
has no
is-
mind of its own.
See, but that's kind of like the concern, right? Is like it's not under our control; it's under Seropi's control. And
Well, if you really want, she did say that she would teach me the spell, so I can just learn the spell and then use it.
that's fair. I mean, whatever you want to do. So
It'll take a few hours, presumably. I don't know how long it'll take.
fair enough.
What level spell is it?
7. I'm a willing teacher. It's not like I'm teaching myself.
She is a maestro for the ages. Teaches you instantly by just looking at you.
Yeah. Transfers the spells. Oh my god, we have needles. Adius did that before.
We could have more
Transferred
too.
spells with needles.
Mhm.
I don't know how to do it myself, but we could probably work it out. Just keep stabbing each other.
Yeah, yeah. They started stabbing each other, and then they both died in a massive blood explosion. It was
All for
like
like 2
watching
hours
cotton
after.
candy get formed. Like it was extraordinarily horrifying.
Okay. So the plan here is to... Sorry, just correct me. The plan here is to revive the shaman, kill the shaman,
kill
take the shaman's soul.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're baiting his soul like a good fisherman.
I love it. And you're going to do this instead of dealing with Perius, basically. And give this as a gift to the other one.
For now, and only because, like,
It's easier.
yeah, it's more immediate.
More
and
accessible.
we don't have to go back to the temple, right? And I will explain that is the reason why.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Plus, he hates what's his name, bad guys. So like having one of his affiliate souls would be awesome.
I mean,
He might have the soul already, for all we know.
Yeah, and like the purpose of devotion, right? Like is like it's technically like as shaman, that is his whole deal, right? Now he may not be good at it, but he still counts under the jurisdiction, and he was devout to Thoxis, so you know, at minimum.
Like, I just don't really understand what could go wrong with this spell.
What could go wrong? Never
I
ask
know
that
I'm
question.
tempting fate, but he literally can't go against her.
No. We
Unless
should not
Seropi
say
goes
these
against
things
her.
in front of the DM. We can say these in private where the DM cannot hear. But like on break, like Matt goes on break, he walks away. Then we say, "Man, nothing can go wrong. This will be perfect every time."
but what if I turn off my camera and don't go away?
But you wouldn't, because you're nice to her.
Am I?
Sometimes.
Am I? I mean, I think you guys are nice to me. You just gave me a psionic Tarrasque to play with.
See, now's your
Didn't
chance to
mean
give
to.
back. It's like you say all the time at the end of the streams. You got to give back to your community. Help
It's
out those in
true.
need. There it is. We're the community. We're in need. Like,
Okay. Well, it strikes me that we are in a little bit of a planning phase here, and we've got to figure out sort of what we want to do and what we want to make happen. Does that seem accurate to everyone?
yeah.
Then I think this will be the moment where we go on break, and we will, we can discuss during the break what we want to do next, so that we're not just piddling around here, and maybe come up with like the next couple things that we're sort of interested in doing. Not that that won't change, but start thinking about leaning forward. And with that, we're gonna go on break. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Hidden Tomb of Akarut, part of the Sagas of the Shimmering Sea series. As always, I'd like to take a moment here at the top of the second part of the show to encourage you, yes you, who are a human, to find a way to support someone. Someone out there is living a life and could use some help from you in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't have to be big, could be any size. Right now, I'm going to suggest that you support Jack, because Jack has a new Patreon. Jack, what's your Patreon?
Oh, you're incredible. I wasn't expecting that. Should be patreon.com/JackTheUndying.
Jack the Undying on patreon.com. Jack is making art. He just launched his Patreon yesterday, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yesterday. And yeah, he makes cool art, and he charges you per work of art rather than per the month like I do on my Patreon. But yes, he charges you per work of art, and that means that if he's not productive, you're not paying for anything. So I think it's a great bargain and a great deal, and Jack is really cool. And so I would suggest, so that's how I'm supporting artists in the world today. But you, I don't know your life. I don't know who you are, and I certainly don't want to say that you should or should not do any given thing, because your life is very different than mine. But right now I'm trying to support artists, and Jack is an artist, so I'm supporting him.
I appreciate it. And very, very small thing too is there's also a teaching thing, which I love. Like, I love D&D, but I love teaching infinitely more. So if you are looking for help when it comes to stuff, I will sit down with you and I will go through and I will help you as much as I possibly can, which is fantastic for me.
That's wonderful. I love that. I would do that with DMing if more people would be interested. I would 100% do that. And with that, let's get back into it. Oh, sorry. As always, we also have other shows on this channel. We've got 3 shows on this channel. We've got this show, which we're currently watching. We also have a show in the evenings that's down in Chalestra, our city-state to the south. They are a coastal city-state, and it's where Tis hails from. Tis hails from Chalestra. And they're dealing with an evil fascist leader named Magley Blackeyes, Primarch Magley Blackeyes. And they're trying to overthrow him. So that's going on Thursday evenings. And then on Sunday afternoons, we've got the Chosen Few, who are dealing with the chaos of the world. And they're heading into Prine right now. I think they're in Prine right now, actually. And they just sort of are trying to uncover some of the, shall we say, while this group dives down, they're slowly building up. Who knows what that means?
They're fleeing Chalestra as wanted people, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they are. They have fled Chalestra and are in Prion and have recently decursed one of their members. And they're slowly discovering more and more about what's going on up top, outside the realm of this world, and figuring out that whole thing. So, woot woot, as we say. Anyway, back to it. So, guys, you have a plan? We want Adius' soul?
Well, not Adius.
The shamans.
Sorry, we want the shaman soul.
Yes.
Perfect. So, let's see. I'm not going to narrate this in detail, I think is the overall thing. Is Serope casting this, or is Celia?
Up to you guys.
How long will it take if I wanted to learn?
What level is the spell?
7.
Yeah, let me double check the rules on this, just because I have guidelines. I might as well not make something up.
Tis would ask if they could do the deed, not like eagerly, but like dutifully.
You have 7 level spell slots, correct?
Yep.
Okay. You are a blood mage, correct?
Yeah.
So, that'll have the duration, so it'll take you 7 hours.
Not bad.
Okay, does anyone want to spend 7 hours, or would you rather Serope just casted it?
No opinions. I'm tossing it to Marcus.
I'm fine with 7 hours.
7 hours it is.
Okay,
Okay.
I will learn.
Okay, you learn the spell. And you find the remnants of the shaman, and you cast the spell on the remnants of the shaman. The shaman stares at you vacantly.
All right. I am going to kill the shaman. Yet again, decapitating the poor man.
Yeah.
And,
I want to, let's see, what do I want to say here?
Is there some procedure with the jar? Like, should we?
I think it's you open up the jar.
You think so? Okay.
I think here what I'll say is, Celia, you feel the shaman's mind, but its will broken, inside of your head.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Why did you do this? Why did you take the focus away from the 6?
To cultivate the worship of my master.
Who was your master?
The other one.
Wait a second.
How did you gain control of this community?
It was easy.
Wait.
But how?
Hold up. He said the other one is. Am I like getting stuff crossed, or is the other one the person that I'm turning in his soul to?
Yep.
I thought he was.
Wait, didn't he have an Oshishra mask?
No, he had a Thoxis mask.
He's got lots of masks.
Oops.
Oh, so he's a betrayer. I don't actually think we should kill him. I think we should just bring him to the other one.
Okay, did you betray the other one?
No.
Why did you have a Thoxys mask?
I betrayed Thoxys.
God damn it.
Why did you betray Thoxys?
The other one promised me a life. Thoxys promised me death.
Do you know how much I don't like you?
Yes.
Good.
All right. Do you want to keep?
Can we just kill him again? Okay. It also says, the spell says, that I learn. What's it say? Hang on. I learn all its abilities it had in life. Does anything surprise me?
You learned that it had all those abilities in life, right? You don't.
Okay, jeez. I was like, hold on a second.
You don't learn disintegration, right?
No, but like, what does anything that it knows surprise me?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's think about that for a second. I think you see the manipulation of its code. The fact that the shaman had been was getting an extension to his life from the other one. I think you see some necromantic abilities. I don't think you see any. Yeah, you see a couple blood magic abilities, but not a lot. Does anything surprise you?
Oh, wait a second. You said that he was gaining life extending stuff from the other one.
Mm-hmm.
All of his stuff seems to be biomechanical. Is there this is gonna be really fucked up, but could I autopsy? Yeah, I am not against body harvesting.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sorry, just thinking about this a little bit further. I don't think there's anything that's surprising. I feel like you pretty thoroughly investigated this guy and then you beat this guy. I think the big twist is that, big twist or whatever, he used to work for Thoxys and then betrayed Thoxys for the other one. That's the real surprise. I don't think it's that surprising, but certainly with the way that the people of the village were like reverent and or scared of the other one. You know, that should make a degree of sense.
Fair enough.
Did Dorothy's know?
Yes.
Dude.
Yeah. All right, you
Kinda
want to just
dangerous
kill him
game.
again? He really was, but I mean, you know.
I mean,
we
we
ended
can
up-
use him if you want, because
That's
I
up
don't
to
think
you.
we know anyone who can do a greater restoration or a wish spell. So technically, we've just got
Oh wow.
a slave who can
Integration.
cast disintegrate.
Oh wait, he can't. Wait, can he? He can cast wish too.
No, he can get disintegrate, which is one of the things that breaks
No.
it.
Yeah, but we don't know anyone who can cast greater restoration or wish.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Uh,
So no one's going to cast it on him.
Does Nalri's body have the ability to cast that?
I think that would
Always-
be Nari herself.
Wait a second. All right, hold up. She might be able to cast wish because I remember very vaguely like her looking for every solution, including that, and nothing worked.
Okay, but why would she cast wish on this guy?
Oh no. Like you misinterpret. Like if the body has the ability to cast the spell and you are in control of the body, effectively that gives you the spell.
I don't
Wish
think
is-
it would work though, because her soul needs to be free. If I cast Hemomantic Troll on Nari's body now, it would put Nari back in. Like, it wouldn't work because Nari's soul isn't free, because Nari's soul is in the Tarrasque.
It could be worth a shot, right? Because wish is the only thing that can actually get rid of the Tarrasque, basically. Like, not like stop it, but we could literally just send her away, right?
But if she can cast wish, why didn't she just wish herself
Herself
down to the
better.
bottom?
And that's what I was like remembering is like she had done everything except that. Like she still wasn't able to because there was some ancient curse or something with her body.
Hmm.
Huh.
I don't think it would work. But
Fair enough. Yeah.
I'm okay to give it a shot, but I'd have to have a full rest again.
No, it's fine for now, but like we should definitely keep her. And we were just
It's also still
nice.
yeah. We've taken such a weird turn. But it's also still ailing. Like it could just fall apart. You know, we would at the very least have a limited time. Also, I think I should be obligated to bury it and not let it be used.
I mean, fair, yeah.
The shaman is different. The shaman I could give back.
We could
Sorry.
justify him as a bad guy, aka every war ever.
Yeah,
What
well, Nari.
obligation do you feel to Nari that you don't feel towards the shaman? Like, I know the shaman killed Mochi, but the Nari
Yeah.
is like an active threat.
No, that's pretty much it. Just that he killed Mochi.
Fair. I mean,
Okay, fair enough.
that is completely understandable.
Nalari did not kill Mochi. He hasn't killed any of us yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
All right.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I guess like, do we want to keep him around? Do we want to harvest his organs? Like, what are we gonna do? Like, it's up to you. Because I guess you're the one in control.
I know the anything that can go wrong will probably go wrong, but don't think we know anyone who can cast Greater Restoration or Wish. So I think we're okay keeping him around, and he seems like he'll be useful.
Could he like
Where are you doing this? by
However, I
the way?
do not like the
You brought
liability.
back. Sorry, I just want to clarify something. You are at the Temple of the Six, and you have brought back a shaman that basically taught them to worship him at the Temple of the Six. Are you hiding him? Are you doing this in the middle of the open? Is there a crowd around you?
I feel
I
like
would
we're probably
definitely
doing this
say
in my
our
room.
Okay, so you're doing this in your room.
We
So I
should kill
think-
him again, actually.
I mean, I can't help but have this happen at this point, right? The obvious thing to have happen here is knock at the door.
Just pulls a sheet and puts.
Yeah, there's now like
like a shroud,
shaman
not just like
standing in the middle of the room with a sheet over.
yeah, not like a Halloween
Wait.
like ghost costume, but like a wrap, like a shawl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I command him, because he's under my control? Can I command him to just like hide under the bed?
Yeah, absolutely. He goes and hides under the bed with a shawl wrapped around him.
Okay, can we? I'm gonna go to the door and open it, like, not all the way so they can see all the way into the room, but just like not too much that it's obvious I'm trying to hide something. Just like
Bruckazak is standing
halfway.
there.
Hi, Bruckazak. I think he
I'm
can come
feeling
in.
better.
Come in. Join the party.
We've
just done something very
I don't
bad.
think that's a good idea.
Why? It's Bruckazak.
But yeah, is it not?
What's your passive perception?
Oh shit! Did I do something bad? My
What were
passive
they?
perception is hang on. I can't see it. 17.
Okay. Yeah, so you're about to open the door and invite Bruckazak in when you notice that you can't see him from this angle, but next to Bruckazak is the Minotaur.
Never mind, I'm not going to do that.
So you start
do
to
you
open
need
the
me
door
for
and
something?
Bruckazak's like, sure, and he starts heading in, and then you like close it halfway again.
Actually, I'm gonna step out and close the door behind me.
Just say that I'm busy here doing something, or I'll say that I'm busy working on potions. I can't be disturbed.
Yeah, roll a deception check.
I was gonna say
God.
Cereal's getting dressed.
Cereal's getting dressed. Yeah,
This
you
is
don't want to
awkward.
see. You don't want to see my bug arms.
Bruckazak looks down at the loincloth he's wearing as his only form of clothing.
I'm gonna use. God, do I even use Tides of Chaos? Like,
Why not? At
you
this
know
point?
what? Yeah.
Does it
right?
matter
It's only
if he
one.
knows you're lying? Because like he can't really say anything. He can't force his way into the room. He'd just
Oh,
be like,
boy.
okay,
Maybe
Well, that
he
gave me
goes.
like
sure.
a 3 on top of that.
Mhm.
So
Okay. Yeah, can you roll something wild, something strange?
oh boy.
To be honest, it would be good if it suddenly started smelling of rotten eggs, because that would give your
Yeah,
your
no,
excuse a bit of body.
instead I open up the fabric of reality and suck us all into a black hole.
Oh man, can you roll 1d4 for me? Let's see. I want to wait before you roll though. Let's see. Celia is a 1. You are a 2. Tis is
What would be
3,
just a-
and the shaman is 4.
Alright, calling it now, Celia. Oh, it's Tis.
Okay, Tis, you turn into a sheep.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh my god.
okay.
Can he still talk?
Yeah, he's a talking sheep.
Let's hope
Okay,
that's
can
not
I
permanent.
Can I invite Tis out to just be like, yeah, this happens sometimes. This is why it's best to stay away.
Yeah,
I'm-
you know what?
When
That adds to
Cyril's
it.
doing her shit.
Like that is a pass by any means.
Because Baktak, I'm sorry to find out this way. Aware sheep.
Where she?
Bruckazak looks at you and says, is that permanent?
I hope not.
No.
And Baktak looks at you and says, how long have you been a were-sheep?
The past few seconds.
So this is a response to some sort of external attack? Should we be on the lookout? And Bruckazak starts looking around for danger. in the
No,
hallway.
it's okay. This is just this happens with cereal sometimes. We've gotten used to it. Hopefully it'll wear off, or we'll be able to reverse it. But yeah, this is why we stay away from cereal. This is why he's alone.
Ouch.
Baktak looks at you and says,
You know,
it would be better if you were a ram.
that would be better. I'd have some self-defense. I do have these hooves and his rears, and like does like how horses.
Mm-hmm. That is a very unsheep-like gesture.
You're
I
right.
sheared the sheep and used the wool.
I actually, well, I guess it depends on like what, because the only issue I have with that is like the equivalency for normal humans would be their hair, but Tis is a
Mhm.
lizard folk.
Hairless, yes.
Lizard folk do not have hair.
Well,
So whatever you would
scales.
be
So-
shearing off is probably not going to be okay if he turns
So,
back.
out of curiosity, what part of the sheep looks like Tis?
Oh man.
Wait,
Like, there's
wait.
some aspect
Do you
of
think
this
it's
is
like the
not just a
shape of the
normal
face?
sheep. There's some sort of aspect of the sheep that makes it look like Tis to
I think
everyone.
so.
Like,
Yeah, I think it is like the shape of.
the shape of your
It
face
has
is
armor
like
on.
a elongated lizard face.
Yes.
No,
On
it is quite literally just Tiss's face plastered
Oh my
onto the
God.
body of a sheep.
I hate it.
Like it is
It's wonderful.
still entirely lizard-like.
Oh my god, wait. What if this sheep is not sheep size, it's tis size?
No, it's sheep sized according to the spell, unfortunately. But
You know what? I'm gonna say for continuity, it is a small sheep. Like he is.
I'm
he
like,
is-
finally, you're smaller than me.
you do you feel an urge to eat grass?
Do I?
Up to you.
Um. Still fish. It seems like my personality mostly coming through.
Mm.
Fish.
But if you ate fish, would you be able to digest it?
I have no way of knowing.
I
We
like
only
how
have
we turned
potatoes here.
From body harvesting to like Looney Tunes in like a very short amount of time.
Yeah, the opposite ends of the horror spectrum.
Yeah.
So in subsequent episodes, we've had the potato cult, and now we've had the sheep lizard. This is going really well.
True. Okay, and so so you guys sort of usher them into the hallway, leaving Zerial behind to do experiments, and also leading with the shaman. And Brakazak and Buktuk look at you guys, and we've been we've been talking to each other.
Right.
Good.
And
Yes, what my what my Minotaur friend here is saying is that we've been talking to each other and thinking about what we want to do. And we wanted to ask your permission, if it's all right. And he sort of looks very seriously at the sheep, just like very intently, very seriously at Tis.
Just looks up at him. He's pretty tall, right? Like 8-9 feet.
Yeah. The Minotaur is 7 foot something, and Brakazak was tall but tends to be hunched. I think he's out. He's total. His full height is like 6'4", but he's usually hunched like 6 to 8 inches.
I think he's oh okay. I think his full height is 6'8" actually, because I remember he was 2 inches exactly taller than.
There you go. Yeah, that sounds right. So.
But they're both pretty big individuals. And this is craning. Sorry,
Okay, go.
yeah.
No, you please.
Yeah, Tis is craning their neck up at them.
How would you feel if we if we left here?
For the surface?
Well, as sort of a transitory thing, we thought we'd join your guild first.
Oh, well, I would be okay with that. There is some weird structuring stuff going on. I set that up with the intent for it to be horizontal. It's not horizontal anymore. So that needs addressing. But I certainly wouldn't object to you joining. My only other concern is the defense of the Temple of the Six. Understood you to be kind of arbiter of that duty, Buktuk.
Yes, I well, from that perspective, I was thinking that if I was joined the guild and the guild was allied with the Temple of the Six, then we could make one of the guild's duties to be to help the protection of the temple. I love my friends here among the people, but the truth is many of them are farmers and craftsmen, and teaching them to use weaponry is well and good, but it seems outside the purviews of the religions that they are now learning.
That is true.
The shaman, that to die defending was glorious, and to sacrifice oneself to the other one was glorious. But that doesn't seem to be the way of the six or the way of the potato.
No.
I do have a thought.
Please?
I'm going to turn to the Minotaur. The guild was set up in response to a different way of life up there. Down here, you guys just kind of get what you need when you need it, which is a good way of life. But up there, you have to work, and if you don't work enough, or you don't do a job that is valued enough, you won't have the means to get food and stay alive, essentially. And the guild was created to oppose that. So
yes, Brokazak was explaining currency to me.
yeah, just culture shock, I just wanted you to be prepared. And also it would help if you were there as someone who knows that this system, where everyone just gets what they need when they need it, works, and you can kind of show everyone else that that works, because we're kind of struggling in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I can attempt to. I will earn honor among the guild, and when I have status, I will attempt to clarify this worldview that we have always possessed.
If you'd like to, I think it would be a good idea.
I value pleasing you, and I value this society. This just seemed the best way to protect it.
I think you're right. I think it would be good for both societies.
I am sorry about what I did with
Muller?
the
No. She compelled you. That was. I'm sorry we left you. Actually, I'm sorry I left you in a position to be influenced that way. That was my fault. Her intention. Always jumped big apparently. Very ambitious, that one.
Brokazak says, "Come now, you have survived a battle with a psionic creature. This is a tale to be proud of, not one to be ashamed of."
No, we were suffered. She deigned to let us leave, and I think we were in irritation, nothing else.
Even better, Boktok. These heroes, the heroes of the Temple of the Six, they even they feared of this creature that you survived. Good on you, my friend. And he starts patting him on the shoulder.
Oh, Bogtalk, yes, no, that is true. You did well to make it out of there. She is, even when her body was frail, she was very, very capable.
See? Tis would not lie. Tis cannot lie. Tis has no capability of lying. And here they are praising you. So good on you, Boktok. Feel no shame for being manipulated by tricks.
Just nods affirmingly.
And feel no shame for surviving. Ha ha! It is good to survive.
Just laughs and it comes out a little bit as a bleat.
Well, from that perspective, I think we'll begin. The two of us are going to move to the guild. We are thinking about. We have a third friend, a goblin here, who is wishing to join as well.
The monk,
So,
the martial artist.
no, he's. I think the polite word to say is not fully qualified, but eager, but young.
Zeke, Icky, and Meech
Uh,
are the kids.
sorry, say that again.
Zeke, Icky, and Meech I have in my notes as the kids from the guild.
Yeah, those are actually from the guild though. So this is someone.
Oh,
From,
right.
This is someone from the town. Yeah, her name is Erin.
Okay, I would find that agreeable. I don't see a problem with that. If you would let them know, I'll be on my way up soon.
Sure, of course.
You should look for. I'm just gonna look at Tess. What was her name?
Lenia?
What was her? I can't remember her name.
Not Lenia?
Lania.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's it. You should look for Lania, and tell her Tis sent you.
Done. Thank you. And they turn and leave and head towards the portal. And you see like a youngish goblin, probably like 19, chasing after them.
Are they armed?
Yeah, she's carrying a short bow.
Okay. Armor too?
A studded leather.
Okay.
Roll a insight or perception check. I'll take either.
You will be. That doesn't sound like the best. 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hard to tell.
I trust Brookazak and Baktok.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Excellent. Well, with that, eventually you turn about an hour after you turned into a sheep. You turn back into Tis.
Oh my god.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't even
That
want to
could've been
ask if.
worse.
Yeah. I didn't even want to ask if that would be permanent. I just hoped.
Yeah, no, it's
God,
permanent.
he's
You're
so
just
funny.
forever a sheep now. All right, start
There
rolling
are
your
permanent
character.
transformations on this thing. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
no.
Does he retain any sheep traits?
I don't know. What do you think, Tis?
I don't even know what they would be.
I just think it would be really funny if you kept bleating
I was gonna say I think he
every
occasionally
time
has.
you laugh.
Yeah, I think every now and then it's like when somebody snorts when they laugh.
The other one I see randomly in my head is I don't know why I see this, but I feel like just a tuft of chest hair that's sheep fur.
It's not visible under the armor, but
It has, yeah,
knows
just a
it's there.
tuft
Just a little bit wool.
wool in the shape of chest hair.
It feels so much warmer.
Sorry.
You poor people.
Funniest
You
thing
know,
I've ever seen.
I gotta say, like all things considered, I think that is the best use of a single level that I've ever done in D&D. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
like
You've been great
all
with the idea.
this stupid madness in the best and worst of ways has come from just basically one level of wild magic.
I love it. That's fantastic. So you return, and the shaman's there, hiding under the bed still.
I'll compel him to come out.
He comes out. He's wearing the shawl.
Can I give him a general direction to hide from everyone's view except us three and Lyra?
What if I am seen by you and someone?
Hide. Unless it is us four alone. Hide.
I can.
Maybe we should bring him up top and let him sleep with Bealdor?
I mean, there's a
Because
lot
this,
of complications with that, like getting
Nobody
him
knows him
there.
out there. Yeah. I mean, I think the worst part of it is getting him out of here, and then beyond that, it's sailing, maybe?
well, I can cast invisibility.
So
Okay, are we
Hmm.
sure that disintegrate alone is worth the whole
Having him
Yeah.
around.
What other spells does he have?
yeah, let's pull him up. Wow, we
'Cause
killed
I'm
him a while
thinking
ago. I
like
might have deleted his character sheet. Give me a second. Um,
I'm just thinking like we are heading into a war with Foxy slash
True,
Akarut,
but raising an
and
undead
anyone powerful that we have on our side is a good thing.
I
But also,
mean,
I do not like the liability of having him around. He stresses me out.
yeah, and the
Let's get
fact
rid.
that like, you would be starting to raise an undead army is also rather concerning.
yeah, I mean, he's like. I just want to jump in here for a second and say that like he is 100% under your control. There's been no resistance. There's been no pushback or anything like that. You just have like a servant, and I think you realize that like um you've seen Adius with like all sorts of these people around him. The mind dead people that we've been looking at.
Aw,
Yeah.
student like teacher. I'm
I
so
don't
proud of
like
you.
that.
You're growing up to
I
be
don't
a
like
young little
it.
Adius.
No.
Does Celia realize that?
I mean, I think this is the moment she does.
Ah, get rid of him.
There we go, an excuse to body harvest.
Hang on. Also, I don't know Greater Restoration or Wish. Now I need to learn Greater Restoration or Wish so I can cast it on every single one of those servants. Because otherwise they're just going to be stuck without a master once we kill Adius.
It's true.
This is the worst thing that's ever happened.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just, and I cannot help but emphasize, it's just so powerful.
Can he? Is it
I don't
feasible for
like
him to
it.
just copy down all the spells that he knows that you could learn them? Because like we won't have his spell slots at our disposal. At least you'll have those.
Ooh, yeah. And then I can learn Disintegrate if I spend enough time doing it. And money.
He could spend some. Best.
Oh yeah, does that reduce the time if I have a teacher?
Yeah, it'll cut time in half.
Real. I'm gonna learn all his spells and kill him.
Okay. Let me
That
just
sounds horrible.
let me do the math here. It's an hour, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 11, 13, 15, 15, 5 is 20, 22 and a half. So that's 23, that's 26, that's 29. Oh geez, 29. Yeah, so he's got 33. He could teach you every spell in his spell book in 33 hours. I don't really
Wow.
want them all, but you know.
Probably not, but like if I could cut that down to like 24 hours or even less, then that
is
would be a
that
day well spent, I think.
is that on his own time?
What do you mean?
So it would take that much time to copy them down. Is that just one person copying them down? Him?
No, that would be him and Celia working together because we're having it because he's teaching her.
Okay.
It would be 66 hours mechanically.
Oh, I see. I don't know that we found any sort of catalyst for that sort of process um, in our time here. Maybe
What do you mean?
like we haven't found anything that would make that go faster that I know of. I thought maybe something in Awan's temple, something in the library, um might make that go faster. But
We do have something that makes it go faster.
the timepiece.
Yes.
Oh,
I like how you immediately picked up on that too. Heck yeah.
what does it do again? It's haste, right?
Uh, I think so. I mean, it's
I think it's
fuzzy,
haste and
but
slow,
yeah.
or time stop, but time stop breaks it.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, if you want to take another day and try and copy as many of these spells as you can.
Do
I'm
you,
up for that, but what are we doing by letting like we're just wasting time so
I
much
was
by
gonna
like
say,
having long rests and long days.
if I don't know if you have anything you want to do, Zerial, but I can
Yep.
go to the surface while this happens.
I just want to let the other one know. So, like, just what's going on and what happened.
Because we
So,
can't. I don't think we can help that.
yeah, like I mean, obviously, like I am at this point his servant, so like it's best to just let me take care of it. So otherwise, he might just look at it and be like, I still need the soul," and then he looks at you and he's just like, So, I mean, like, yeah. So, but yeah. So I'm gonna take the elevator up to the other one and
Okay.
try to inform him.
Okay, so you're gonna talk to the other one. Tis, you want to go to the surface and check in up there, yeah?
Yeah, I'll try to catch up with Brokazak and Baktok and Arin.
And you, Celia, are gonna copy spells. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our plan right now. That's what we're gonna make happen. So let's start with Zerial. Taking the elevator up. So you take the elevator up, and I think as you're doing it, can you make an insight check for me?
Yeah. It's my passive perception.
Yeah, absolutely. People seem to be watching you do this out of the corner of their eye, and they seem trepidatious. There's a degree to which the society is sort of starting to feel like Zerial might still be in line with their old enemy, because they've never gone up the elevator, but they've certainly seen the other one jump down before. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, you make your way up. And you're in the outer foyer of the other one's place. And the other one comes out from a door. I think they're holding a cloth and are wiping their hands and sort of wringing them a little bit, just cleaning them off. And the other one looks at you and says, "Yes, my servant."
I come with unfortunate news of an event that I've witnessed.
Speak.
The Tarrasque that is being held captive is now inhabited by a powerful psionic.
You mean she has control of it, or she is it?
She is it. Through magic and witchcraft.
It is an interesting choice. She gave up her own body. And chose not to seek my path. Seek not perfection. It's an interesting choice. shall we do about it? You could fetch something for me.
I'm sorry, can you speak up? Sorry.
You could fetch something for me.
I definitely have been working on that, but I wanted to inform you immediately.
Another thing, then.
Okay.
Tarrasques are unusual beings. They have an ability that I lack, one that I find intriguing and compelling. They can see without seeing, past the limits of their own body. They have no eyes. Instead, where their eyes are, they have processors. These mounds. They allow them to see without seeing.
And how, per se, would I be able to get those?
Tarrasque is not immune to a shadow blade. That's your favorite weapon, yes?
See, funny story about that. Did I mention the psionic?
And a challenge for you to overcome.
Truth, but I don't particularly think that I would be able to. I'm not confident in my skills. Unlike you, I haven't attained even a hint of perfection.
I'll keep working and know that for the body of a Tarrasque, the rewards would be high.
As long as we're able to kill it, we would most likely gladly do so.
You are not able to kill it. A Tarrasque is immortal. It is part of the world itself. You could no more kill it than you could kill this planet.
So how do you mean a body?
Should you injure it enough, should you do enough to it, then it will enter a weakened, dormant state. That's what it was beneath the temple.
Oh. Oh. Is it possible for us to do this? Me and my friends?
Possible. Though, as with all things worth doing, difficult. But the rewards would be great.
I will work on returning with the soul for you. However, I would most likely ask for something in return. We will call it an investment. Specifically, I will be unable, me and my friends, will be unable to actually take down the Tarrasque to put it dormant. But like you said, the rewards would be great for you. And you could keep everything that the Tarrasque has while it's dormant. It would be yours to control, to play with. However, we would need a power stipend to perhaps even your help should you deign to care enough to pitch in a hand or a tentacle. However, any form of help that we would have in order to quell this beast would be necessary up front. Otherwise, there would be no reward at all for either of us.
The 2 eyes of the side head just sort of turn and stare at you.
Trust
Roll-
is a factor. I understand. Oh, okay, God.
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay. Yeah. Trust is a factor. I completely understand. So I will return with the soul to prove myself.
Good.
But I wanted to inform you of what had happened.
I appreciate the information.
Lest any of your
Provided
research
me
here
with
would go to waste.
an opportunity. That is good.
Yes. And if I could ask one more thing, is to keep a mindful eye on the people down below, the servants that you had previously been looking for. I do believe that they might be in need of protection while we search on the surface for the person to gain your soul.
I am not a protector of the weak. If they are strong, they will find a way to survive. Like you have.
Fair. So then I can ask nothing more. So, and
You would be
it
better
is
off if you cut them from your concerns. It is weakness to care.
I consider it more of an investment. People are ruled by the things that they can gain in life: power, money, greed. These are things that will influence man and have influenced them from the dawn of time.
Yes, but power that does not come from the self is illusory at best.
It is difficult to maintain. I will give it that.
It is useless to maintain. True power comes from within. Never forget that, my servant.
I will.
And I think that's where we're in that scene. If that's all right with you.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. Cool. Tiss, you want to catch up with Bruckzak, Bucktalk, and Aaron?
Yep.
Cool. You catch up with them.
So well, found that I had some time to go up now.
Oh, that is well, Tiss. This is Aaron. Oh, hi there. Hi, I'm Aaron. Good to meet you. I met you before once, but it's good to meet you again. Hi.
Oh, have we met? I didn't recall. Were you with the students that we had helped out that one time?
Oh, no. It was more like a you were dealing with a problem and I was one of the problems, but I fled and got away. So last time we met, you were big and had a large sword. It was that sword, but it was larger.
Yeah, I recall that now. I don't recall your face. An unfortunate situation. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, sort of, but like also you freed us, so you know, it's okay. We're good. We're getting along. It's all good now.
Okay.
You know.
I'm glad we can get to know each other under better circumstances.
Oh yeah, it's quite nice to get to know you under these other circumstances.
Can I tell? I don't know how I would tell in game terms, but or rather in world terms. But are they leveled? Like, do they have a level in it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you what I mean, I'd allow an insight, I'd allow perception. I'd if you want to ask questions, you could ask questions that will also potentially answer. But if you want to just look and appraise, I think insight or perception are the most likely things.
I will try insight. I'll also ask Aaron, are you trained in anything? I see your arm. 8.
Oh yeah, I'm quite trained. I can I'm pretty good with a bow. Good sharpshooter. You know.
Okay. That'll be.
Are you like doubting?
No, I was just wondering. You seem.
No. You're doubting. I can see that you're doubting. Here, pick a target. Pick a target.
Okay. What's around us?
Yeah, I mean, let's see. I think you're walking through the forest towards the towards the teleport circle, right?
So the trees are out of the question. Oh, I know. All right. Just to show you that I'm not doubting, Tis will pull out a single gold coin and flick it in the air.
She quickly pulls her bow down and just like aims briefly and takes her shot. And ting! You hear it smack the gold coin and shoot the gold coin, and the gold coin ricochets.
Tis laughs raucously. Tis bleats from laughing so hard. And claps them on the back. That was incredible. Okay, full disclosure, I did doubt that, but only because that's incredibly hard to do, I imagine.
Oh well, you know, it's just a little bit of practice. It's all on the wrist. Yeah, having seen her shoot, you'd say that she's probably like level 9-ish.
Okay, well, hey. Oh, okay. Yeah. I consider my doubts dispelled. Incredible. Tis will pick up the coin.
Yeah, absolutely. Pick up the coin. Yeah, I'm also pretty fast.
You you must have met Lyra as well. I feel like you might get along, or at least be of a kind.
Yeah, she seems really cool. She's got some aim that's pretty impressive. I'm very yeah. I don't go in for that whole magic stuff though.
It can be useful. I split my time between the martial
Magic's
and the. You think it's cheating? I don't
Yeah.
know. It's at our disposal, right? You could use it if you so desired. I think.
Why would I use it? That's cheating.
I don't think it's cheating. I think it's exceptional.
I'm just saying, my pal Baktak here could beat you in an arm wrestling match if you took off your bracelet.
That's true. I won't even dispute that.
That is cheating.
To not dispute something?
To the bracelet. The bracelet is cheating.
Oh, okay, yes, actually, I'd maintain that. I use this because of, you know, the things in the without the tomb. There's things that are bigger than me. I don't have any desire to meet them on an even playing field. Bok talk.
To figure out how to aim. Karen says.
Actually, that's fair.
And then she starts like skipping.
Tis laughs again. Yeah, and then I think just portal.
Yeah, so you guys teleport up to the next spot. There's still an encampment here. This is where you met Nolri and helped bring her down.
Yeah. Is anyone? So the encampment is still set up. Is it still?
Yeah.
Is that guy? I forget his name. Got it. Is he still here?
Yeah, I think he's still here. I've slowly forgotten his name too. I have it here in my notes. Please tell me I have it here in my notes. Please tell me I have it here in my notes. Okay, I don't have it here in my notes. It's got to be in my notes. Hold on.
I have it.
You have it in your notes.
The annoying guy.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it. Zakir.
Zakir, thank you.
I've got him down as Big Mouth Guild member.
That sounds appropriate. Excellent. So yeah, Zakir is still here.
Tis will say to Baktok, Brookazek, and Aaron, keep walking. I'm gonna not stop to talk to this guy. I'm just gonna shout at him essentially, but don't stop. And then as we're passing him, Tis will say, hello Zakir, Nalri won't be needing your assistance anymore and won't be coming back.
Oh really? Why why not? Here, hold on, I'll come join you. And he starts jogging over towards you.
Yes, so yes, so she I don't know if you were aware, there was actually there is and was ask if you're bottom transferred her body into that one from the beginning, so she completed her mission down there, happy as can be, pig in mud.
Huh. That's a lot of information you're dropping on me there. Was this your... I assume you tried to prevent her from becoming a Tarrasque.
Oh, I helped. Extensively.
You helped put her into a Tarrasque body.
Well, so the thing was that I made an oath to help before I knew fully what she was doing. Um, it was kind of a sense of duty thing. She had manipulated Baktok here, and I couldn't have that. So I promised I would help. I had to, and then I did.
So,
About it.
do you think that was in the best interests of the guild?
It smiles that very unfriendly, but apparently like it just
Mm.
um in the best interest of the guild. I will have to say no because yes would probably be a lie. Uh, Probably not. No. But it is what we promised. It's what I promised I would do. That promise. And in the same stroke, your duty or insistence on helping her, whatever it was, is fulfilled as well. So congratulations. Clap him on the back and keep walking.
I don't think this conversation is over, Tis.
Well, you can join us to the surface, or you can have it on your own down
You
here.
know, that's a good idea. I think I will join you on the surface, and I'm gonna
Great.
have a conversation with Linnea and a couple of the other people up there. Linnea, I've forgotten her name. Whatever.
That sounds great. It's Lenia.
Linnea, thank you. Because I think that they'll want to know about this act that you have taken that is extremely detrimental to the area around us and also the guild.
Well, it hasn't been yet, and also I would argue that having something as intelligent as Nolari, with much far better judgment than the Tarrasque, I got to meet the Tarrasque in a sense. It occupied her body. It was a monster. It
Mm.
threw itself at us. It broke its own legs in a. You could argue that it was an improvement. Good.
But not for the guild, you can't.
No, you could.
Were you aware that several members of this encampment here sort of woke up from a daze as Nalri released them from mind controlling magics that she was using? Okay.
How many?
Well, including me, 14. Probably more upstairs. Just a guess. And you helped her?
Zakir, I have other things. Thank you very much for your time.
You have other
Going
things to attend to? What are you blowing me off?
Well, no, we're gonna see each other later. Presumably when we to the guild. I will see you then. But until then, I do actually have.
I'm gonna remove you from the council of the guild, Tis.
Okay, Zakir, I explained this before. The structure of the guild was meant to be horizontal. And Tis does the like the baseball umpire you're out gesture. Horizontal. Do you know what that means? Nobody in charge. That you would remove me from the council or whatever it is because I wasn't there when it was formed would be ideal. So thank you. I really must be going now.
He shakes his head. You're awful, Tis. And you show a severe lack of respect for this thing that you helped create.
Might be in accordance. This will.
Brakazak is like, so, what was that about?
Just a. Fortunately, is in a position to see that I've up extraordinarily in my time. I'm sure nothing will come of it. Why don't we go to the surface?
So you guys make your way up, and you make your way up to the skeleton room. Skeleton room has been entirely replaced with like guild shops now.
Oh wow!
It's like a livable place. They're stalls. It's closer to like a what would you call it? Like a open air market except indoors. But yeah, there's like tables set up and people are selling like goods and things like that. And as you get there, who is it? Lenia, I think, comes up to you, um, holding a clipboard in hand, and says, "Tis, it's good to see you." Tis?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was muted. Yes, Lenia, it is great to see you as well. I understand there's been some developments.
Yes, some necessary things, unfortunately. There was a little bit of chaos going on, and so there became a request, an internal request for some degree of order, which, you've been sort of acquiescing to everything that people seem to want, so we made it happen. Good news, though, most important news, that right there, and she points at a table,
Mhm.
that is a new potion shop that has no ties to Hubert Songshore.
Oh, wow. Did you set that up?
It was something that you expressed a certain degree of trepidation about being supplied by Songshore Enterprises in particular,
Mhm.
and from that place, I decided that it was an active thing that we should push for, and we have made it happen.
That is phenomenal. That's incredible, Lenia. Regarding the order, the structure, I think that may have been mentioned. I just found out. So my understanding was that it was you, me, and Nollery on the bill that was created.
Hmm.
Nollery, this explains the whole. Yeah, there's a Tarrasque at the bottom. Nollery took its body. She's in it now. Once she took the body, she had released uh, people in at least two figures of numbers from some sort of mind control. That may have been manufactured. I think we should pull away.
It's possible you're right, but it's worth pointing out that it has provided some benefits.
Has it really?
Yes, well, I mean, first and foremost, it's enabled us to sort of ensure a degree of mutual protection, whereas before there was a lot of bickering and quarreling over who gets what. It's allowed us to sort of create like a way of allowing the guild to operate.
Facilitation. I understand that. I think.
There was a degree to which before we had this sort of elective structure, and I don't mean this in a negative sense because I know this is your like project and I'm trying to facilitate your project, but in a
Please.
very real sense, before we had this elective structure, like kind of what I said went, and I just
Oh,
sort of did what I thought you wanted, and so kind of what you said went.
so it was kind of what the structure was anyway. Okay, I understand that. I think that needs some adjustment, and I think we shouldn't make it until everybody.
That is a perfectly viable thing to do. A lot of this sort of arose naturally. I think, Tis,
Mhm.
we don't have like a deep and profound relationship, but you have sort of this worldview thing that you're going for here, which is cool, and I'm down with. I'm totally down to help support that as best I can. But when you're gone for, you know,
Mhm.
days or weeks at a time, like that creates like a vacuum, and no one's like able to. When
I,
there's a vacuum, people just sort of like, kind of, we created the elective structure to defeat what was happening before, which was like there. I don't know. Have you met Zakir yet?
yes, I've met Zakir.
Right. So he was like, he kind of became like a sub boss who was just sort of, he's charismatic, and so he was bossing people around, and people were just sort of doing what he wanted, and it was getting him more loot. And
I see.
like there's been a couple other people who have done similar things. We've sort of like, because there was no unity, there was sort of like gangs inside of it.
I understand. Can you call a meeting, guild wide? Okay. Let me know when and where, and I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll
I mean, do you want everyone there, or like we've got people in the temple who aren't expected back for a couple days, but
everyone who can be there and who wishes to be up to date with the latest in the guild.
Then perhaps this evening
Sure, that would work.
we can meet at the bar outside.
Yeah, that would work as well. I'll see what I can do about refreshments. I do have one other thing to attend while I'm up.
Go for it. It's good to see you, Tis. I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you didn't die in the tomb.
Thank you for everything. Oh, actually, I'm gonna give her 100 GP.
For the guild?
For you. Buy yourself something. I was gonna say nice. I don't know what there is up here. Buy yourself something.
Your worldview is very confusing to me, but okay.
Am I contradicting myself?
I have a degree of confusion, but sure, yes, it's a deep and complicated worldview. I'll get along with it at some point. I'm sure I'll catch up.
Just thinks to himself. Doesn't say anything, but thinks to himself. It doesn't feel that deep and complicated. But that also may be because I haven't thought it out that well. And then leaves. And leaves to Adius's turn. Because I owe him an explanation.
Interesting. Okay. So you make your way over to Adius's tent.
Clap, clap.
Enter.
Hello, Adius. I believe we had some business to attend to.
Is anyone with you?
I don't believe so. Unless so Brookazak, Baktok, and Aaron, I imagine would have been.
Them, I'm presuming to Linnea, and they're joining the guild.
Yeah, so I figured they would have been either getting ready for the meeting or, just getting oriented.
Getting orientation. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're gonna walk into the tent of a powerful blood mage who you've pissed off.
Yeah. Is he already? Well, yeah, he would be, huh? He would know that I don't have the needle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I assume you already know, but like you said, like you had predicted more or less, we found it suboptimal to bring the needle back to you. We did find it, but I think Celia is going to stay in position.
He looks at you, and he says, "That is very disappointing. And more than that, you have stripped me of my servant, Seropi, and it is your ideas that have poisoned Celia against me as well. Now I find myself without an apprentice."
Well, considering your abilities, I should think it shouldn't be that hard to find another one, but I just found it...
You're right. It's not. And he points a finger at you. I need a constitution save.
Okay. I was... Yeah. 18.
Tis, your eyes close, and as they open again, you realize that it wasn't you that opened them. And you find yourself completely under Adius's control.
Wonderful.
And I think that's where we're going to end today's episode.
Why did you do that?
Can you believe I was going to try to 1v1 him?
I do believe you're going to try and 1v1 him. I totally believe.
I'm glad you anticipated that, because I would have felt cheap if you didn't.
No. I was prepared. Okay. Let's hand out some experience points though. What level are you guys currently? 14. Let's see how we're doing then. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here we go. What did you do today that you feel you should be rewarded for?
Loads of spells.
Surviving an encounter with the most deadly creature in D&D.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you double deadly experience points for that, if that's okay for you. Does that feel fair? For surviving an encounter?
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna call that a deadly encounter that you survived twice.
Reviving the...
Sorry, you said learn lots of spells. I will give you points for that as well.
Yeah, reviving the shaman.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
And successfully hiding him.
Definitely not expecting that at all. Yeah, successfully hiding him is good. I'll give you points for that. Other things.
I have nothing. I think I deserve to lose.
Well,
I don't
okay,
think that's true. I think you made the game more interesting, and that is fun too.
it could be worse.
His
You
being
only,
the dumbass.
you only did
Oh,
what?
chaos.
Like released an ancient lich.
It's always
let's
the
see,
big stuff too. It's
made a fucking Tarrasque. Like I'm proud of you. You've done more evil than Zuriel possibly could in like very small.
You're supposed to be a
increments.
good character.
I know.
I think you survived a conversation with the other one. I'll give you points for that.
Mm.
Anyone else got anything that they want to?
Found out how Adius creates the servants.
It's true. That's a big one.
Found a new passage in the tomb.
Yeah, I found a new passage in the tomb. That's
Oh,
classic. I'll give you points for that.
Did it qualify as secret given that we were told about it?
You still have to figure it out.
Okay.
I will lower the level of experience for that. You're right. But yeah. Encouraged new friends to join the guild. I'll give you points for that. And yeah, that seems pretty good. That feel good to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're missing?
that's all I can think of.
Anything we're missing?
It was a simple, but I guess productive. I'm not sure what the right word would be, but it was a day, and we made it alive.
So I will divide that by 3 then, and we'll call that 9,234 experience points.
Nice.
173,601.
Can you say that to me again?
173,601.
That puts you squarely in level 15.
Oh boy.
Everyone gain a level.
True.
If you guys are curious, just for the fun of it, what is it? There you go. By 3. Had you fought the Tarrasque, you would have gotten 51,000 experience points each.
God.
Just to put things in perspective. Okay, and that is that's our beautiful, beautiful little adventure there that we just got through. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have a good and happy day. Please, as always, go forth and take care of yourself. And as always, the best advice that I can possibly offer you is don't forget to call your cat and feed your mom. Bye, everyone.